Hello, Boring Review Nation. Gabe,
Nick,
and we are here today to bring you a new song reaction from a new artist. This is the first time we've done them. And, you know, it's funny. I think I mentioned to you, I did not know anything about this artist until, other than the title of the song, Rocket Man, because it was in the show Big Bang Theory, which you also introduced me to it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Of course.
But, dude, the only other thing I know about Elton John is that he sold out the Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas, and I hated him because, bro, it was insane the amount of people that went there, but there were like some security restrictions. I didn't know how big he was, but
stop it.
But dude, no, to the point where we had to get clearance to go back to like the VIP area to drop off our high rollers. I'm like, I've been working for this company for 20 years. We own part of Allegiant Stadium. We helped put it up. Like, are you kidding me?
Just so you know, he drives limos on his spare time.
That's my part-time job, yes.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. Like, dude, the kind of security... Only 3 times I've been in Vegas that's happened. Taylor Swift, that was insane. The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was one of the craziest things. Nick, they actually restricted us from parking at 0 level where we pick up our guests at the airport. We had to stage off property, and once the guests had their luggage, they come down, we pick them up. And these are like, you know, high rollers or whatnot. And it was just like one of those things where... It was the amount of security behind the Super Bowl was insane. But Taylor Swift, the Super Bowl, and Elton John, when he played Allegiant Stadium,
and that was his farewell tour.
And maybe that's why it was. But it was so frustrating for us drivers because we had to come in early, get background, you know, our licenses, everything. Like, we've been working for this company for 20 years. It was insane, man. It was insane.
The only thing I hate about Elton John is the fact that he had that whole rhinestone Dodgers outfit uniform when he played at Dodger Stadium back in the 80s. And I hate him for it. Because I hate the Dodgers, for crying out loud. But he is such an iconic singer, plays the piano. As far as I understand, he writes the music. His writing partner writes the lyrics, which is really interesting, that dynamic. I was told once that they do it, like, from across the pond. I mean, he is British, but he spent a lot of time in the U.S., and so he would send him lyrics, and he would write the music to it. It's a very, very interesting writing duo. But he had said that he had never, as far as he knows, doesn't know about his music besides Rocket Man.
Right. So
I'm going to have him listen to Tiny Dancer. I told him before we started recording, I guarantee you'll know this song. It's been in so many movies. It's been quoted by so many people. There's jokes that I'll talk about afterwards, because I don't want to give anything away in the title. And so it's an iconic song. He's going to love it. He's going to recognize it. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But if you like our reaction anyway, please don't forget to
like and subscribe. I mean, dude, just the fact that you said he's British, I'm like... I promise you, I was like, really? Again? Another one? Like, I did not realize he was British. I thought he was American. No joke. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
That's awesome. He seems like a super nice guy. Real quick, before we start, he performed with Eminem at the Grammys years ago. And this was about 10, 15 years ago when the Real Slim Shady LP came out. No, his second one. The Marshall Mathers LP came out. And that song, it was Stan. It was Stan. So Elton John was going to do the Dido part in the Stan song, play the songs or whatever, and Eminem was going to record. And it was this big controversy because Eminem has made fun of so many gay people in his songs, and Elton John's gay.
Okay.
He's going to be a hypocrite doing it. Right. He'll never do it because he hates gay people or whatever. Right. I don't know if that was just the storyline. But sure enough, they did it. It was, as you can see it online, it's such an awesome collab.
Right.
And Elton John, with all this stuff that Eminem had said in his songs, he was such a huge fan of his music and his genius that he just wanted to perform with them.
Wow.
That alone and many other things, I have a lot of respect for Elton John. He's an awesome performer.
Did not know that whole story.
But you should check out that recording later on from the Grammys. It was awesome.
Definitely check it out.
Did I hit the thing? I think I did. All right. Here. Oh, so you recognize that right there, don't you? Here we go.
Smile. You marry a music man. yes, she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my hand. Jesus freaks out on the street, handing tickets out for gone, turning back, she just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Piano man, he makes you stand in the auditorium, looking on. She sings the songs, the words she knows, the tune she hums. Oh, how it feels so real, lying here with no one near, only you, and you can hear me when I say softly, slowly, hold me closer, tiny dancer.
That I recognize. That's the one part I recognize.
Now the headlights on the highway, lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today.
You look so young, it's crazy.
Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Count the headlights on the highway, lay me down in sheets
you know,
Talk to me, Goose.
dude, I tell you, it was beautiful. That's the only way to be able to describe that song. And I don't think I've described any other song that you've introduced me to as just beautiful. Like, some of them are just crazy. I love them. Some of them, I don't, But that was beautiful. And first of all, I didn't realize that it was just him and a piano. I
want to say the studio version has the other instruments. I don't think I've ever seen that, but that was, like you said, it was just him. That was amazing.
It was amazing, man. It was beautiful. And I remember talking to you before, and we might have mentioned it here. I took the history of rock and roll when I was in college because I thought it was an easy A. I hated that class. I hated that class. I was like, oh. And I mean, some of the songs, and if they would have given me some of the hard rock stuff that you're giving me here or whatever, I would have been okay with it. But they gave me like some old school stuff. We did do Elvis, but even then they go give you all kinds of other stuff that I can't remember what it was. At the time, I didn't appreciate that class, but I did appreciate the other easy A I thought I was going to get, which was the classical music class. And I remember they had, it was like Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, I think it is, or Chopin. And then I remember just listening to the piano and they're like, can you tell the difference? No, I can't tell the difference. And then I was like, okay, I tried to remember the order that they played them in or whatever. Okay, that's Mozart, that's Beethoven, that's Chopin, whatever. Those other guys, but I always thought, man, like the piano is probably one of the most beautiful instruments.
It's amazing.
And there's a singer, I'm sure you've heard of her, Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
And I don't really, her voice is great, but just when she plays the piano, the way it goes along with it, it's just amazing.
Yeah, she's a great artist.
And again, I've never even heard the full Rocket Man other than the Rocket Man, like I said, because of the
great
thing.
song too.
But I was waiting because you said, I know you're going to recognize this dude, until he got hold me close, Sonny.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I recognized. And it was like you said, from a movie or a show or something like that. Had never heard the full song, but that whole long-winded diatribe I just went off is to say it's going to be an edited. Oh, man. Sir, is it Sir Elton John, right? They call him Sir Elton? Sir Elton John?
knighted, for sure.
You are now officially on the Rolodex. Hopefully he gets paid every time I download one of these songs or whatever. It's not some company.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it because that is such an iconic song. I don't know if I can say it's his best song, but it's definitely up there, if not his best. You probably I'm not sure if you ever saw that movie Almost Famous with Kate Hudson. Cameron Crowe's the director, about that boy that follows that rock band as like a journalist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a famous scene in the bus where this song is going on and they're kind of like, the band is like struggling and having a riff between them. But then that famous chorus that goes on and they all start belting and singing it together and being happy or whatever. Right. Maybe it was a very iconic scene of that movie.
Right.
Played all the time. But also, just it's amazing without the other instruments how he's able to fluctuate like the intensity of the song with using his vocal prowess.
Oh yeah.
And you see him right here. He's got this iconic shades. He's got like the flashy jacket or whatever. But he's so young right here.
Very.
He was famous also for his flamboyant outfits or whatever.
Right.
The kind of fun stuff there. But he has so many great songs. And real quick, the joke I was going to tell you about.
Right.
Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. People like to use that line because it sounds like that's what he's saying. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. It's so stupid.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
And Tony Danza, by the way, he was a huge 80s icon.
Who's the boss?
Boss? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know about his character, so it's funny that you mentioned that. You talk about the flamboyant outfits and the piano, and don't kill me in the comment section, guys. I'm just getting introduced to this. Was he influenced by Liberace? And the only reason I know about that is because we had the Liberace Museum here in Vegas, and I used to take people down there all the time to go, and I was like, all I remember seeing the flamboyant outfits and then the piano. Even the piano was like rhinestone and all kinds of stuff like that. Can't say I know a Liberace song.
I couldn't tell you either. I don't know. I have no idea if he was influenced by it, but it's easy to make that comparison in some ways. I just automatically think about that joke in Austin Powers. Like, everything comes back to Austin Powers, where he comes back out of being frozen for 30 years, and he's like, Liberace was gay? He's like, he he had mounds of women going after him. Everyone loved him. Like he was so shocked about him being gay. It's so funny.
Now is Liberace? I mean, he's got to be prior to Elton John. I don't even know what era Liberace is.
He might have been like a decade earlier. Honestly, I don't think he was that much earlier, but I'm not exactly sure. It's funny because like if you didn't know his name, you would be like Liberace, but it's pronounced so differently. Yeah, he's probably a lot older than I'm thinking. He died in 87, so he got 50s and 70s. So yeah, about 20 years earlier.
Okay.
But yes, Liberace was gay.
I
love Austin Powers.
I forgot that line until you mentioned
flocked to him. It's really weird.
When he got done being a Frozen. That was a great film too, Austin Powers.
I'm glad you like this. Let us know what your thoughts are. What is your favorite? Give us your top 5 Elton John songs because you've got to have at least like a top 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to. And until next time.
We know all things.